Well, buddies, look at this.
Oh my!
Look at this. Everybody, everyone's here for class today. Roll call.
Is that a freeze frame? Right? No, he's moving. There
He's
he
moving.
is.
Look
Wow.
at us.
School back in.
School, I guess, is back
For some.
For some.
I think public is Thursday, but some of the other schools are already rolling.
Yeah,
But
my
for
kid was
us-
in yesterday. Oh yeah, buddy. Look at us.
Oh,
When's the last time we did a show together? Sort of, kind of.
I think we did a Tuesday in early August.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a flare up.
Oh,
Gouty Gouderson.
yeah. Got her under control, I think, though, boys.
I got a question for you. How do you know it's gout versus not a bunion? Because I'm hearing some pain on the bunion train that people have had it. It's a nightmare. Similar. Do we know? Are they related?
There's
We need a podiatrist.
yeah, no, there's a high level of confidence that it is gout.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 weeks, specifically last week, have been terrific.
Okay.
Probably since that day when it was the worst I'd had.
Yeah. You must have dried out and eat well, right?
Not exactly.
Okay, well, that's a good sign.
It's
Then.
been a lot of vodka the last week or so,
Where
so
the
it
hell you
can't
been,
be.
Dean?
Huh?
Where you been?
Where everybody goes in the middle of summer,
Yeah.
August specifically, Mexico.
I think it was a second honeymoon or renew your vows. What'd
Yeah,
you do
something
there?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Just so romantic.
You do pull off the hot vacations during summer often.
He does the Phoenix thing. He likes the heat. Yes.
Yeah.
I was kind of against it until last summer. We had a little brush with one, and I was like, this is actually deadly. You just need shade.
If you don't have to accomplish anything,
Yes. If you want to lay around, it's
and you have a
perfect.
pool,
Yeah.
if you need to do anything else, then it's dodgy. But if
Drinks?
it's just from shade to pool
Yeah.
to nap to
Yeah.
shade to, I highly recommend.
I just had like 3 piles of drinks. It was like ice water, iced coffee, and then like blended alcohol drinks.
Yeah.
And that's the day.
It was
Just shade, pool, in and out.
Yeah.
Don't bother with shirts and pants or shoes or anything. It's just bathing suit, and that's all you need.
I
No
think-
towels, nothing.
all inclusive.
yes, sir.
Way to go.
For us, it is. Yeah. We don't, and a lot of people, they don't like them. And it's, I do all the cooking. It's fine. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to not do it when I'm
Yeah.
on vacation.
If you can get the food part sorted, the
Yeah.
rest is aces, right?
Good-
If
good
the
enough
food is
resort.
passable, you're great.
Food was all right. Couldn't complain. Lots of booze. They had just a step up of the, it was not, top shelf, but it was kind of,
Medium shelf.
yeah. So you could get just a little bit better than was this made in a bathtub tequila? So that was good. Lots of sun.
Jim's vodka.
I think my wife had, one day she was hungover twice.
Really?
That's good when you can pull that off. Yeah, it's nice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Impressive
it
gal.
was all right. Yeah.
Teach that in the prairies? I've never seen that
No,
one.
it was good.
Huh.
You just got to time it right. Just got to time it right. Interesting though, it's like cliche or whatever. Getting on the plane yesterday to come back, and there's some obviously local people getting on the plane. They are in full-on winter clothing,
You ready with the worst?
full length, like down to their ankle, winter coats, big, thick, puffy coats. It's like, what?
Am I missing something?
Like, I guess, yeah. Oh, it's cold, eh? In Canada, must be so cold.
It's 30 yesterday.
It's not that much colder
It's like
than
5
it was
degrees
here.
difference.
Yeah, it's not really not that big a difference. And then they were standing there waiting for their Uber or whatever to show up yesterday, still wearing the jackets. You kind of, hey, stupid. You want to Google? You got a phone or a computer?
You did the Uber. You can do
Yeah.
the weather.
Now, hey, you know what? In fairness, maybe they're coming for a long time and they don't have room in their luggage to put a.
So you
big
just
winter
sweat
coat, so
through
you
your
just
winter jacket?
friggin'
Okay,
wear it, I
cool.
Here we are in the Tower Chrysler Studios. Tower Chrysler, voted Southern Alberta's favorite Dodge Ram Chrysler dealer.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
went to the Roar and Explore automotive extravaganza on the weekend.
it was great. They had ice cream truck there. Pizzas were flying in. And this was like your wheelhouse. Every time I'm like, wow, this is a cool thing with wheels. I wonder what it is. And I'm like, Dean would be so mad at me. I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. I don't know what this is.
All right.
Uh,
I did wonder. So was it strictly Mopar? Because I thought in the
Yeah.
one video it looked like that might be a
Nope.
Camaro.
No, I think it was all Mopar,
Well,
which I didn't know
yeah.
that was a thing.
I know that was the thing.
Yeah.
It's with car people,
Yeah.
if you are more Mopar than Dodge or Ford and Chevy, pieces of
Yeah.
shit,
No. Oh,
and all of that. You touch them
that's what
all.
they'll say. Yeah.
But yeah, they had a nice little. It was the inaugural.
Yeah.
And they're going to do this year after year.
Serge
Serge and
says he's
Nikki.
blowing it up. He said, this is phenomenal for year one. Next year, boom, 100 cars. Let's go. He's jacked up. People there were happy.
So it was kind of a short notice thing. They decided better to do it with tight turn than not do it at all. They had over 30 cars, raised over $1,000 for the brown bagging for Calgary kids.
Yeah, and some great cars, man.
That's a lot of lunches, which again, that's probably the most important part. There was their best in show. Look at that.
The Fargo.
That is
a D100.
Yeah, that's not how it came off the assembly line, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it looked when it left Detroit. Not exactly. But you were so even you, a guy who's not a car guy, you were enjoying it.
Look at all these. This is wow. Yeah. Okay, so I snapped a bunch of photos, and so we had the Nation truck there, Nikki's there, Serge is there, Stampeders are there, everyone's very excited, and there was a few barn burner fans out there. There's a few that are like, what sort of fire is this? What are you talking about? And other people are like, I listen every day, I'm a day oneer.
Nice.
So we handed out about 20 barn burner t-shirts to all the people that put their cars in. Dean, that's a car there. That's not a truck, just so you're up to speed on what that is.
That is a Challenger.
Okay, very good. So let's give them 1 point. Ding. Next, we got some other. We can just rip right through these probably. Look at this old truck. It folds up the hood in the middle. What's that, Dean?
That's you know what I like the patina that they've got there.
Yeah. They've gone with the sort of rusty look there. Huh?
You know what? That truck, it earned it. Mm-hmm. If it's earned it, it's still living.
Rusty.
You let that. It's not even necessarily rust.
This is the PT Cruiser.
The
this
old
is more
PT.
Look, they got the skull there, the paddy wagon. This was fun more than like. I wouldn't want to be seen necessarily in that one, but it is fun. If you
used to be a game Bruiser. When you'd pass one, you'd punch whoever you're in the cards. Sure. PT Bruiser.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't too keen on me there, but I did take a photo of his whole thing.
Did he get a shirt for looking that happy?
On his lap, yeah.
Oh boy, he's really thrilled to see you.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. And this is what, a Plymouth?
Look at that. Look at the white walls in that son of a gun.
I know, hey? Like these are beauties.
You'd be driving along, you just find like little foreign cars crushed up in the fender wells. Like, I think we just ran over a Hyundai or something.
And if I noticed if it's a convertible, it's probably 37 feet long, like just land yachts.
Oh yeah.
Anything with no roof, miles long.
I think we hit the ditch, did we?
Not sure.
I don't know. Hang on. Bring her back around. Well, there you go.
We had a blast. It was good.
That's nice. Awesome. Good on Serge and Nikki for getting that done. The first, I guess it's the inaugural. You don't have a first annual, but they're going to do it again next year.
I mean, it's
nice.
Just redundant. But yeah.
Tower Chrysler. So what's happening, Warner, in your world?
Well, that's tornado land. I live in a tornado that spins me around, and I spin out that way, and then I spin around some more, and I spin out that.
But then it sucks you back in and shoots in a different. Yeah. Okay.
So are you kind of cows? Yeah. Are you in that vortex that we chastised and swore at hockey parents for being for years? Are you kind of living that now?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. He's right in the heart of it.
Yeah. And one of the big dope, he decided last week that he's a football player as well. So why not, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
He is a big dope. I mean, that's a good place for big dopes. There's a lot. You go to the football roster, my goodness, large humans. He's checking that box.
It's too much. We give our children too much, right?
You're right.
No,
it's too much
is the proper answer. No,
but his friends are doing it, Dad. Come on,
they aren't. I got to give him credit. Actually,
oh really?
He walked into a room of strangers.
That's okay.
And apparently, the school he's going. There's Dean. You've been around, right?
Oh,
Pinder?
Yeah.
You got the hockey guys and their little clique there. They're like cool cats, and the rest of the school is like, oh, God, Junior Sabres. Oh, aren't you? So there's a little bit of animosity apparently in the school.
Well, maybe he's the neutral party. He can be Switzerland here and really help mend fences.
Yes.
So if he's going to be a football player, what are we offense, defense? What are we doing?
Gronk. Yeah. He is Gronk. That's perfect. You want to talk big dumb animals, lovable things? That's Gronk.
Is Gronk like beloved in Buffalo? He's got to be just.
Well, he is, but he did play for.
Yeah, the Devil.
Arizona.
New England.
Oh, there you go. I see what you're saying. I get you. Yeah. Well, they only stuck it to the Bills twice. Every time they played them.
No, just like twice.
But only for a couple decades.
Yeah.
forever.
Only for some people's entire life.
No, only for like Brady's entire career till the last 2 years. That's it. That's the only time they really took over the Bills there. Yeah.
Interesting. So are you buying into this new love of football, or is there I feel like there's got to be some ulterior motive, some girl or something.
Oh, I'm sure it's mostly related to, some sort of, but he doesn't know anyone in the school, so it's not a specific person. I think it's all about being cool. Yeah. It's very important in this world. And
it's a Warner trait.
It's worked for us.
Pretty cool.
Look at us. Fucking sunglasses on. Christ, how much more cool could I be?
That's what people in the comments do say a lot.
Yeah, they really do. This guy is cool for wearing.
They definitely don't leave it alone. They need to comment.
No, they need to really get into
that. They've got to let you know how they feel about your eyes. Right. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't often stick out for you, but on the eyeball front, I'm just handing out haymakers.
You know what? And for you, you've done it long enough. You've kind of defended. You can lay the weapon down.
I'm good.
It's okay. Yeah. Don't bother.
You saw me though. I was wielding.
Oh, I do. I know. Hey. Good teammate.
Just sometimes I do have your back. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, once in a while. Hearing loss clinic. Want to get it in? I'm a month in now with the.
Have you got the gear?
With the apparatus. You're so used to wearing headphones now. Like we have these things in our ears right now, but you got AirPods. I don't think even if people saw them, which you can't. People won't even think twice. Like, it's just everyone's got stuff in their ears.
Dude's hammering a podcast.
And these things now, I miss them dearly when I don't have them. I was still trying to get into my rotation for the most part. I'm getting better at it. Mm-hmm. Wallet, phone, keys, hearing. It's got to be part of that thing. But it's you got to go. You got to go. Even if you don't think you have hearing loss or anything, you just got to go and get yourself checked out, because now I really miss it, especially in a social setting. That's where it's been big for me, because I'm not only hearing the people that I should be hearing. It's like, oh, these people are.
This guy's MF and Pinder at this table.
You know, those two
never would have heard that.
Those two are married to other people, and they're messing around. Do some reconnaissance work.
That's not his daughter.
That's right. Hearingloss.ca is the website. But sincerely, with fall coming around, you go to do your checkup with the doctor and your dental. Just get it a part of your routine. Go for a regular hearing check. And I saw one. There was a new hearing thing, a hearing aid that came out. It's this AI thing.
Come on,
it's affecting like millions of times a minute or something. It's changing and improving your hearing before your brain knows that it's not hearing things correctly.
Really?
Smarter than your brain.
Well, for some of us,
it's smarter than your brain.
I don't know.
That claim, not from Hearing Loss Clinic.
Please consult the Hearing Loss Clinic before accepting anything Dean says as fact.
The fat guy said it'd be smarter than my brain. Can I get a set of those? I go talk to Rhodesy and the good people at the Hearing Loss Clinic, hearingloss.ca. And
looking for that AI brain.
Let them
got one of them for
me? So we've done one show, maybe together as the three of us in the month. We got to get caught up on all the Flames news.
Oh, there's got to be so much, right?
Because I've been away and you've been.
Make your popcorn and grab your drink, because we got a big show here.
Well, and the thing is, there was so much to get done, and now you're a GM. You can't just take time off. Connie's been chopping wood the whole summer. Yeah, I can't imagine how much he's got done that we need to catch up on.
Hard at it. So, your Calgary Flames offseason update.
Summary.
Brought to you by Bonton Meats.
Jack was going to play you.
Love Bonton.
So good. I throw it out there just
I didn't see anything on my screen.
Yeah, no,
there's a glitch.
Did you not have the graphic of all
the internet glitched?
Yeah, the in-out kind of boards, who's in, who's out.
Well, I think the new cap hits on those deals, and the return on the trades.
Name the captain, I'm sure.
You have to have, for sure.
That sort of stuff. No, there's nothing.
Huh.
So the last thing is,
if you're living at Lake George, you're not going to be working on deals in July and August. Come on.
Yeah.
Back home, feet are up, got a new boat. What are you talking about? Deals.
Sharon Govich trade.
That was
the draft.
Before the draft, yeah.
And then free agency.
Nothing at free agency.
And nothing since.
Unless, T's and P's to Osterley there, whatever his first
name
is.
Right, yeah.
Kevin?
I'm going to go with
Jim.
Jordan. I'm going to go with. Yeah, I'm going to go with Jordan.
Oscar Osterley. Oscar?
Oscar. Like, no, there's nothing shaken.
And that's, to be fair, what most teams have accomplished in the last month and a half. There are a few exceptions, but generally speaking, this is the GM's ice out the players, and nothing's going to change between July 5 and October 5. So, or maybe September 25. So yeah, I'm not going to, your deal you've offered is still the deal you're offered. What I'm not accepting, I'm still not accepting.
Yeah. I mean, we're being cheeky about it. I don't think we expected anything, but truly nothing has happened.
Wait. We didn't expect anything over the last month, but
that's right.
I think we expected way more action over the summer.
Yeah. And
maybe
I still
summer,
think training camp might be a bit of a lubricant for some of these things to get done. We do see injuries in the preseason, but definitely I think if we had to guess where this team's at October 11, it would be on I thought they'd have more done by now versus wow, they accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the hand that Connie's been dealt. You can't make bad deals for the sake of making deals, and you can't extend guys that aren't interested in extending at this moment. And even the guys we know where they're going to play next year, a lot of them don't have deals yet. Like Stammer hasn't signed in Tampa. So if he's not feeling rushed or need to sign now, and everyone he's not going anywhere else.
He's not going anywhere.
And so it's like no one's keen to really. They want to know what the fucking cap's doing. How much more money's out there? A bidding war, that's good for everyone.
Do we have an opinion anymore as to how we feel about the Elias Lindholm one? Because I think we know that
status quo. Apparently,
the one thing we have not heard anything that Noah Hannafin might stay or anything. The one that is first and foremost and at the front of the line is the Elias Lindholm. Yeah. And you've heard 8 years and close to $9 million. And I know Seravalli had a thing as most recent as last week that they're continuing and all this sort of thing. I don't even know if that's news. I don't know what it is.
No, it's status quo. They are interested in signing him. And he, to this point hasn't seen offer in front of him that he's felt compelled to sign. And I think everyone would be on board with him signing Elias Lindholm at a certain number. And everyone would also be look at a number and be like, that's too much. You can't sign him for that. So where are we in that? Speculation, but I would assume that Elias Lindholm would sign today if you offered him way too much money. I also think that if he went below market, he wouldn't be signing it today.
You would, hey, Rhett?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if anybody out there
want to give us too much money, please?
Not paying way too much. And you talk about the lubricant. I don't know what would change. It would have to be like injuries for other teams.
Yeah.
Would be seemingly the only thing we are seeing now. And I saw it come up in the subscribe to our YouTube channel, by the way, on our YouTube chat. Somebody was asking about PTOs, meaning the pro tryout contracts. Nothing for the Flames. There have been some. I know Brandon Sutter and Sam Gagne are going up in Edmonton. I had the list here. It's a lot of
older guys.
Don't get super excited about it because there's not a whole lot there. Detroit's done some. Colorado. What's the biggest name here? It might be friggin' Sam Gagne.
Wow.
Aaron Dell and Kiviranta, Nate Beaulieu. Alex Chason, our old friend, he signed a PTO.
Didn't he almost get 20 with McDude the 1 year? Nice to play on that power play, hey?
Question for you.
Yo.
Where did Alex Chason play last season? 100 points if you get it right.
Was he...
Nashville.
Ryan?
Well, I knew he was Vancouver a while ago, but I think he's got somewhere since then. He wasn't in that trade with Phoenix. I don't know.
That's right. Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. The most recent ones, Corey Conacher and Brendan Perlini to Carolina, along with... So with that in mind, are you super excited at the notion of the Flames bringing someone in? Because look, Patrick Kane is a UFA.
Oh yeah, he'll be here on a PTO. No sweat. Yeah. Let's go. Awesome.
Jonathan Taves, who said he's not playing, he is an unrestricted.
So he's not playing, but he's not retiring.
That's right. I don't see Shillington coming back. Your buddy Oscar Osterley is already in. You got Dennis Gilbert. I don't know that there's necessarily room or the appetite. Now, maybe up front. Now, I went to Daily Faceoff today, dailyfaceoff.com, to see the lines the way they had them kind of run down.
Yeah.
Lindholm with Huberdeau and Sharon Govich on the right side.
Yep.
Kadri down the middle with Dubé and Coronado.
Okay. I'd have Mangiapane there, but sure.
Backlund, Settering, Mangiapane, and Coleman.
Coleman, okay.
And then Ruzicka with Pelche and Walker Dewar.
Yeah, I think Dryden Hunt's your 13th forward. He's a guy that's contributed at the NHL level over the last few years. He can play that fourth line role. And look, Connie's continually said, and I think has been supported by Huska's thoughts, that they haven't had a good enough look at a lot of these guys on the AHL roster that they like. And if some of those guys aren't ready, all those names you just mentioned and guys better than them will be on waivers in a few months.
So with those names thrown out there, Retro, and I mean, Connor Zeri's 21, but I don't know that he's a threat to. You'd love him to be. He's 21. You can
Feel
make
free to
team.
be
Go
a
ahead.
threat, Connor, please.
Yeah. But with those lines being what they are, Coronado, Pelche would be graduating as full-time to full-time NHL work.
Ditto Dewar, but he's older.
Yeah.
Ruzicka has been the biggest wild card of them all there. Like, he's playing, he's a point a game, he's not playing, he's rusting, he's awful, he's great. Like, the inconsistency right from his draft class remains.
You could argue that it wouldn't be the worst thing to bring in some sort of forward competition. Not that it's going to make Coronado any better or, really better. I think they train the same way. They're going to play the same way. But if Dryden Hunt is the next man off the ledger, I don't know that on the blue line it makes sense. Clearly in goal it doesn't make sense. But I wonder if up front there's room for someone.
Yeah, I don't know who's out there, and you don't know who's going to cross waivers, but there are players that will be sliding by at around $1 million in early October, and you could go do the PTO thing. I don't see any urgency on that front. If you're a week into camp, you can go find guys. If that's what you're missing.
Yeah,
what we haven't had the last few years is the young guys getting a chance.
I'd like to see the young guys get a chance. I'd like to get a couple weeks into training camp. I would like to have a gauge on the mood and the feel around the squad with that mean old bastard Daryl Sutter gone and all these new fun guys there, and we're great attitudes now, and we love each other, and we're going to play hard. So if we get that, let them roll.
There wasn't any.
Nothing there.
Look at the speed real quick, right? You talked last year ad nauseum about how slow this team was. Sharangovich might be your best skater up front all of a sudden. Coronado can fly, Pelche can fly, Walker Dewar can fly. Ruzicka is a better skater and bigger than the Trevor Lewis type that's in that slot. Lucic was probably one of your worst skaters. Toffoli got a lot done but didn't move well. This forward group skates a lot better than last year. And I don't know that there's many goals there, but they're going to play with more pace this year.
My problem with all of it, and you are correct, and what you're saying is we're definitely faster, but that's because we couldn't be slower. So the problem we find, and it's a continual issue every training camp, is it doesn't make a lick of difference how much faster you were than last year's team if you're not fast compared to the rest of the league.
Yes, and I think they're much more in the middle of the league now rather than, I would argue, they're probably close to the bottom third last year.
So you got to see him play. And again, there's a difference between having speed and playing with pace. Because if you have one slow guy on your line, guess what you can't do? Play with pace.
I don't see slow guys here. No, like, who's a bad skater on this team? Like, in last year, it felt like there was one on every line.
Yeah, that's just it. You don't have.
Hey, Rhett, what the hell are you talking? Why? Why do you go there?
Look at these guys. They're speedsters.
Why can't you just embrace it?
Matthew Lombardi would love this lineup.
He really would. Now, you guys had Jason Weimer on. Great. If you haven't seen it, or you haven't listened to it, Jason Weimer, go download it, watch it on YouTube. And I know his thing was where are the goals coming from? Mm-hmm. You lost a lot an off season ago, and neither Pelche nor Coronado, God love them, I think are going to replace Toffoli's goals. Maybe one of them plus Sharangovich. I don't know.
Yeah. That's total goals. You don't need one guy to replace all the goals. Add them all up at the end of the year.
Well, you need a bounce back from Mangiapane.
And a year ago, it wasn't enough. So yeah, you hope that you get those back, and you need more.
Well, and I would just look at if there's areas where you would expect improvement. Goals, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's probably sea level. The other end of the ice, there's a lot to be gained. How many bad bleeping goals, how many blown defensive coverages were there last year? You could tighten up 20 against on goals against, and that's your differential is what matters. Whether you win 5-4, 2-1, it's the points that get you in the playoffs, not the goals. I think their gains are going to be made in their own zone. I think they're going to play a smarter defensive system. I still think it's a really deep blue line. I don't know when the Hanifin, Tanev, Zadorov, Shillington, UFA stuff comes to a head, but as long as this is the group they have, they're a good deep defensive unit. And if Jacob Markstrom isn't good, they've got more options than last year. And I frankly think he'll have a tough time being worse than he was last year, because the moment his kid popped out, he looked like Jacob Markstrom before his wife was pregnant, which may be coincidental, maybe not. But I mean, you at least saw flashes down the stretch of the Jacob Markstrom that you signed to a 5-6 year deal.
How do you feel similarly about the back end and goaltending?
It's got to be better.
Can't be worse, really.
Well, if it's worse, you're sunk. So it doesn't. Yeah, you're immediately. If it's the same, you're sunk.
Like they were second in Jennings 2 years ago with the same two guys and the same blue line.
I saw Robert Munich on FlamesNation.ca, and I forget what the article was, but he was kind of going through, I guess, talking about PTOs, that he felt like with the addition or the reinsertion of Shillington in there, that the Flames had one of the better back ends.
I think so.
Okay, hang on. Then you got to think about it. And like you said, if Hanifin is still here, and if Tanev is healthy, and if Shillington can, I think the key is get back to where he was and maybe better. Mm-hmm. I don't know if
they're missing a number one power play quarterback guy, but they got a lot of 2s and 3s in my opinion, right? Like they got a lot of 2, 3, 4s.
I was just gonna say we come down here. The Sabres are all skating, getting in shape for training camp. There's some Darlene out there. And,
there's no Darlene here.
There's no Darlene, and it's great to have depth, and it's wonderful. But Darlene can play 30 minutes and dominate a game, and we don't have that, and it's fine. It's committee work, and if everyone's healthy and contributing, certainly it can be good. But there's also having a guy that can be a bit of a game breaker and that you can rely on all the time. So anyway, we can. This is great conversation in August because there's lots to be we're going to improve here and we'll be better there, and damn it, we'll show you, and they're saying all the right things in the media, and it's August. Let's see what happens,
and then we'll just roast them for it come November, December if things aren't going well.
You guys were the best.
You guys say everything's best ever. Hey, you fat cats. Bunch of donkeys. Now, you mentioned Mangiapane. That is a big one. Now, he was on that golf tournament in town. Recovering from off-season shoulder surgery. Said it was an injury that happened early in the year. Thought it was going to improve. It didn't.
They found it at the exit physical, it sounded like. And he thought it was just the way it was, and they're like, no, let's get this fixed.
Yeah. So he's back on the ice, not taking contact. I don't know that he would be anyway, but he says he's not been cleared for that part of exercise, but he's looking to be ready for.
No one needs contact on August 29, Dean.
You don't need it.
No,
you don't need it. But a bounce back there.
22 to 26, somewhere in there you take, right?
Yeah.
35
was really good, though. Like 35 was really good.
Yeah, and he's had weird splits 2 years in a row. I think he did all his goal scoring on the road 2 years ago, and then here it was like first half nothing, second half much better. But his game also kind of matched up with that last year, where he just didn't find him in the tough areas like he used to in the first half, and he got back to it in the second half. There's a lot of bad puck luck on this team too, and that's one of those things that ebbs and flows every year. If you look at his career shooting percentage, I'd have a safe bet that last year was way off what he's used to, and that 2 years ago was way above what he normally is. And that's kind of a bit of luck there.
Curious what you think, Rhett, that maybe a shoulder injury.
I think it's all a bunch of hullabaloo, and I wish the doctors could have figured that out earlier in the year so that perhaps he didn't have to play on that. So.
Yeah, there it is there. I'm going to do now this day in Flames history. I'm going here because, and I'm just trying to go through my memory bank, that I feel there's a former Flame. Everybody has one, right? Whatever your favorite team is, you probably have one guy, one player that is like that's one of your favorite players. Like, yeah, I don't know why. He was just always kind of one of those guys. Now I could be way off, and you'd be like, no, I don't know why you're thinking that. But I'm going to go with it. August 29th. Happy birthday, Jonas Höglund.
Oh, yeah.
You were oddly a Jonas Höglund kind of guy, weren't you?
Right? I mean, first off, blue-collar guy, penalty kill, 200-footer. Worked his tail off. Not a lot of skill. It's like when baseball fans fall in love with that defensive shortstop that can't hit, but he's got a nice glove. Like, it's John McDonald. He works hard. We love him.
In 96-97, 19 goals in 68. 19. Not very patient. Next year, 50 games, 6 goals. Fucking beat it. Get the out of here.
You had the young guns.
That's, yeah.
You're too old for us, Jonas.
Then the Flames trade Hoagland and Zarli Zalapski to Montreal for Val Bure. So, and in the end, it felt like, 68 games and then 50 games. Didn't even go two full seasons with the Flames. I thought he was a Flame longer than that.
Move you're probably going to want to make again if you get the chance.
And then he went to Montreal. And then, of course, to the Toronto Maple Leafs, where, like everybody, your career takes a huge jump.
Like Kelly Yarncroke.
Yeah, huge jump. Yeah. You become a bigger, more important, just more, everything about you becomes bigger and stronger and better. Were you a big Jonas Hoagland guy, Warner?
I didn't buy a jersey, but if I'd have been at a fundraiser, I would have.
You'd have bet on it for sure. Yeah. For the kids, yeah.
I mean, I was saying all the things when you said Jonas Hoagland's name, but actually I was thinking of Marcus Nilsson because there was another guy you could love, right?
They did love him.
You know, like middle of the lineup, works his tail off, face-offs.
I think the importance for the loving of Marcus Nilsson is that
team was good.
The team did well for a short amount of time, but the team did well.
And he bought cheese off me once at a cheese store. So
and he wore a John Deere hat.
Did he?
Yes, he did have.
He wore a John Deere hat, fitting right in with the blue collar working nature of the Albertans here.
Embracing the culture. Yeah. One of us.
Swedish farmer.
That's right. Yeah. Running the crops over in Stockholm.
If you're farming for lingonberries.
This day in Flames history. Now, admittedly, it's a bit of a thin one, but it's August for F's sake. What are we supposed to have for you? This day in Flames history. Presentation of McLeod Law. Our friends over at McLeod Law. Peter Klein. It's just one of the best. I want to say I saw online that a whole string of the people at McLeod Law won awards.
Come on.
In the lawyer awards.
The lawyerlies?
Yeah, the lawyerlies. They took home 7 or 8 lawyerlies a couple weeks ago. So congrats to everybody over at McLeod Law.
Not to be confused with the judges. That's a different set of awards for the people that wear the robes. Yeah. The lawyeries is the different, I think similar nights, but different events.
Yeah, so congratulations. And Peter Klein was one of them.
Really?
I think he took home 2 lawyerlies, if I have my math right.
Wow, that's
that mantle. I might have to build a new one.
Yeah. You know, Peter Klein at McLeod Law is the personal injury guy, but did you know he's also the go-to guy in Calgary for your disability insurance claim if your long-term disability insurance company is refusing to pay you that insurance benefit? Contact Peter. You want him on your team and on your side and fighting for you. He will get your peace of mind back. He will get you the disability benefits that you paid for and you deserve. Only seems right, doesn't it?
You're paying for him, may as well get him. Someone trying to screw you out of the things that your hard earned money went towards. Call Peter.
We just want what's right. McLeod-law.com is the website. McLeod Law. They are multi-lawyerly winners. Yeah, lawyerly awards. Yeah. Let's do the Pinder Report. You want to do the Pinder Report?
Sure, why not? Let's go. Yeah.
Now, I understand it's stupid and potentially lengthy today.
Well, see, here's the thing. When we do 5 a week, there's only so much dumb content out there in the universe. But when we don't do one for a couple of weeks, like it just builds up and backlogs. We got all kinds of stupid humans in this Pinder Report today.
It's very exciting.
And because Rhett's been running around gallivanting, we got some clips from his vacationing, which is always great to catch up with him.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. So, I
look forward
a little bit of news to start with, but yeah.
Pinder Report, brought to you by Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall and online at villagehonda.com. New in-stock inventory on the ground. Start your automotive adventures at Village Honda, where new vehicle pricing is MSRP. And that means my sakes, really
pretty.
Yep. It's the Pinder Report for Village Honda.
Really pretty.
Yeah.
Let's start with some big money. Getting paid, Austin Matthews, AM34, more like ATM, $3 billion, $53 million, 4-year deal, 13 and a quart, all signing bonus. This is last week's news, but it is now the new ceiling for salary in the NHL. No one's making more on AAV. This will kick in the season following this one of that 2024 class he's actually signed. So
took their GM to the cleaners.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought this would go over 14, but
Whoever
4
that
years
is.
Works nicely. Who is that guy?
I don't know.
So that,
so the career earnings, not too shabby for Austin
he will
Matthews.
be, I believe. Oh, I had the tweet too. Was it 100 million before he's 30?
Yeah, that'd be for sure, right?
So that would put him on a track where if he's healthy and has a long career, he could be the first $200 million hockey player.
That's good.
They walked him right at entry level to free agency, didn't buy a single UFA year. They paid him what felt like market rate there, and now a 4-year full UFA deal at 13 and a quart. And now you're 2 years away from Leon probably shattering that, and another year away from McDude after that.
Thank God for the pension.
And then Coronado.
Please, honestly, if there's a $15 million conundrum with Coronado, everyone's going to be A-okay in this market.
So does this let Dubas off the hook? Because he was, I mean, it was pitchforks. How could you you walked him right to free? It was so stupid. How could you do it?
Does Dubas have to do with any of it? He didn't sign
I'm just saying he got raked over the coals for signing him to that deal.
Here, Dubas.
I just think you got a superstar. Like the last negotiation was a little different, but this one's like, he's going to get what he wants. If you don't give Austin Matthews exactly what he wants, then it's like, well, I'll just go somewhere else. I'll have 31 other teams bidding for me in a summer.
The question always was, does he want to be in Toronto? To a certain extent, yeah, he's happy in Toronto.
He is.
Right?
Otherwise, he doesn't do this. This is his chance to leave right now. I think he could get more money next summer somewhere else. He's staying.
He's staying.
Good for him.
Americans love playing in Canada. That's one thing we know.
And everyone loves Toronto.
Yeah.
Rhett's told us that year after year.
You know what? Speaking of Toronto, changing your subjects.
Okay.
Joe Bowen had an awesome speech.
Joe Biden?
No.
I love Joe Biden.
At the Rick Jenneret Memorial. I got to give him a thumbs up. Really well done.
We had, you were on vacation. I saw you tweeting about it. RJ held a spot in all of our hearts as hockey fans with those incredible calls. It felt like he was Buffalo. Rhett talked about that. And then were you at the event, Rhett, or when was that?
It was Sunday night.
Okay.
It was a good event. The alumni golf tournament was yesterday in Buffalo. Lots of alumni around. Tons of guys. Everyone was down at the thing. It was an awkward, in a way, sort of service because the family wasn't there. I don't think that Rick really wanted to have a big to-do, but they did it anyway.
Was it too close to his passing to have a celebration? I wondered that.
Yeah, it was.
You want to pay respect to the guy. Yeah.
The other thing about it is, and people ask, "Oh, you knew Rick?" I'm like, I knew Rick. I don't remember having a conversation with Rick Jenneret. Like, he wasn't a guy that came down and interviewed you, right?
Yeah,
it was a casual, and certainly I wasn't a highlight reel, so he's not talking about me. But right, like you got Brad May. Well, what do you say about May Day if you're Brad May? Well, it kind of symbolizes who I am, and after that, there's no story to it.
It's the catchphrase, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy from May Day,
yeah. The best. They did Q&As with a few groups of guys. The best were the guys that he worked with, the broadcast, like Razor and Jim Lorenz and Dan Dunleavy, the guys that interacted with them more.
I think Harry Neal worked with him a bit too for a while there. Didn't he not?
Harry Neal was
interesting.
There. Yeah.
We'll switch gears from everyone's favorite hockey market to, everyone's favorite hockey player, especially if you were an Avalanche fan when he disappeared from the team in Seattle with a drunk woman in the lobby of an airport and never played another game in the postseason. There's Val Nichushkin feeling better, guys.
Mix in a water, son.
That's not necessarily what I think the Avs want you to do on social media when they say, let's get caught up with your summer vacation. But there he is with what looks like maybe an AK-47, Dean. I'm not really big on the guns necessarily. And that's a hot whip. And it does look like he's in Mother Russia. Just a hunch.
Donkey.
It's not a smart decision.
It's just a donkey.
I don't know if we figured out what the fallout is from that thing in Seattle, Game 6.
They get training on that too.
Yeah. This wasn't in the syllabus.
This guy says,
yeah, it's that don'tbestupid.com website that they put together.
I think he's the poster boy. They're saying, okay, guys, Val gave us a perfect example of what not to do. So everyone here, this is the example of fucking it all up. This is Val Nichushkin.
Hang on.
Gather round, kids.
Jeez. Having a good offseason, though. Looks like fun.
Yeah.
Looks like he's living a video game.
I think Rob Ray's outside my door. Hang on.
Yeah, you go say hi. We'll move to baseball. Did Austin Matthews leave any money on the table? I don't know. Too soon to say. You know who lost a bunch of money in the last week? Shohei bleeping Ohtani, who needs a second Tommy John. This is a while ago. I know the tweet says 13 minutes ago. That's from last week. He was going to hit the market this winter, Dean, in months, in less than 40 games, as a free agent that can pitch like an ace and hit like an all-star silver slugger. And instead, Tommy John, number 2, no bueno. That's 200 million on the table he's left there. That's a shame for the young man.
That's Rob Ray money.
That's Rob Ray money. When you 200 million,
200 million,
just going to leave under his couch cushion there.
Yeah. Look at that fella right
That's
there.
an intimidating presence.
You guys look kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah. In high def quality. How are you, Razor?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're terrific.
School's back soon, Rob. We were at the very end. These kids need structure. Get them out of my
I dropped my daughter off Friday at school, and then my son, I don't know, Tuesday maybe.
It's back.
Yeah. So realistically, parents have what? A week of summer without their kids?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So,
what's going on?
Where are? Because Warner's, is this Warner's office?
This is Rhett's office. He's big time now.
Big time coach now.
Is he the same place in Buffalo, or has it changed? Are we on the road now? We haven't been getting a lot of intel about Buffalo here.
Where Rhett's living?
Yeah, because he rented a place last year.
Well, he was in some of the government subsidized housing last year.
Right.
And then I got him a house behind mine now, so he's actually moving up in the world a little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
Can help you with the yard work. I know you had a chainsaw going.
No, he needs his grass cut.
Okay.
Yeah. So is he good at, is it reciprocal? Is he now helping you out a lot? Is he very handy for you?
No, the first day he moves in, I look out, his kids are climbing over my fence. There's a gate right there. There's a gate 20 yards from that gate to go into my backyard.
Yeah.
But no, they got to climb over the fence. I yell at them, don't climb over the fence, come through the gate. And Dum, instead of saying, yeah, listen to him, he brings a ladder out, puts it up against the fence. Okay, guys, climb up the ladder and jump over the fence. They weren't in the pool 10 minutes. And those big fluffy things that you lay on that, float on the pool.
Yeah.
I look out, one's tore apart. The whole pool is covered with those light white little foam things all over the pool. I'm like, good job, guys. Welcome to the neighborhood. This is fantastic.
That was day one.
Day one. Day one.
Yeah. And what's great is they're just now entering the real stupid stage.
Yeah.
Like his oldest boy has been stupid for a couple of years. Now the other two are really catching up. It's going to be a whole lot of stupid in that house in about 3 years, 2 years from now. It's going to be terrific.
The best part about it is they don't have blinds on their windows yet.
Oh, no.
So I can look out my back door right into when Chrissy's getting out of bed and that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So if I time it just right, I can start my day off right. You got to get to know the neighbors a little bit.
That's right.
How well do you get to know? That's a good question.
Well, that's Buffalo. That's Buffalo for you, right?
Nice.
Yeah. Treat your neighbors the right way. You never know what'll happen.
You always need something, so you got to be right with them.
Now that pool. Tell us about the pool in the backyard. Is it seasonal?
No, it's seasonal. It's Buffalo, son.
Above ground?
No.
Well, Rhett says they're all above ground. You must
you know what? He's right. When you fly into Buffalo and you look down, there's a million above ground pools.
Yeah.
There's a million of them. It's funny actually. But no, mine's in ground. I splurged a little bit and got it. And they don't use it much though, eh? That's the problem.
The Rhett's boys will, don't worry. Yeah.
When they're young, they do, but then I'm gonna fill it in, poke a hole in the bottom, fill it in, and put a nice little rock garden out there.
Well, if you're not careful though, Razor, you get your tarp off, you start getting into the pool. Chrissy's going to be looking back at you, looking to start her day the right way.
That's right. So Rhett always leaves the rink early, and I stick around the extra half hour, 45 minutes.
Very neighborly. Yeah, very neighborly.
Yeah,
teamwork.
Well,
Rhett just wanted me to tell you he took off too. He's got to go practice.
Yeah, I know.
I got to plan a practice. He doesn't even run the practices. Matty Ellis runs the practice. He just stands there, but he's all excited today because we're skating.
Okay.
And he's going to beat the boys up a little bit here.
So are you in cahoots with what he, like, are you just at the same rink, or are your boys of the same age, or how?
No, they're the same age.
Oh,
Rhett's the head coach. I help Patty Coletta and Matty Ellis. And Matty's got a kid in the team. I got a kid in the team.
Awesome.
And Rhett's son, Luke's on it. So, no, it works out good. We're at the rink here where we spend most days here. So,
how would you,
head coach?
Yeah, how would you kind of grade his coaching ability?
We went 3-0-1 on the weekend. We should have went 4-0. We kind of puked up a 3-goal lead in the third period in the third game.
Yeah.
And he wasn't too happy. But we win the fourth game. And I never heard so many F-bombs in my life when he walked into the dressing room after the game. And these kids here, they just had a great weekend. We bagged them all week from skating training camp. You know, they're dying. They play well. And he's just giving it to them after the fourth game. I'm like, Rhett, did you really need to do that? Like maybe just boost them up a little bit. They got to learn. They got to know. They got to know where I stand. So already he's had problem with two parents complaining that their kids aren't getting enough ice time. A couple kids said they're too tired to play. Just things like that. You deal with it.
And our side of it, not to speak for him and not to speak out of school, but we were led to believe the parents are crazy.
They are.
That you guys have been rolling lines, no favoritism.
I don't know what it's like up there because my kid never played up there, but here they believe the more money they spend and maybe the more their kid is on the ice, the better chance they got.
Yeah.
And it's totally wrong. These kids are 14. They need to skate, yes, but they also need rest. Rest at this time of year is better than, going out and doing some stupid skills in that for an hour and draining them. Get the rest for them. And they don't get that. They want to be on the ice all the time. We had a kid at 13 last year come to us and he goes with his dad and he goes, hey, my kid doesn't kill penalties. And the kid says, yeah, is that going to affect when somebody's watching me to go play somewhere else that I don't kill penalties? This is 13 years old.
13, yeah.
We all kind of look at each other and we're going, serious? This is the conversation we're having right now with a 13-year-old kid because he doesn't kill penalties.
Yeah.
But they were worried that was going to affect if somebody was possibly watching him. And it's amazing what they come up with.
That's wild. And that's not that. You know what? That's not a Buffalo thing. That's a hockey.
No, that's across the board.
There's psycho parents.
Everybody thinks that. Yeah. Everybody thinks that. And because we try to tell them that the farther you go in the game, you're going to start being put into areas to specialize in. It's like I'm not. Believe it or not, when I was their age, I'd have 150 points a year. Best player in the team going and playing. And I go, boys, it quickly changed. As soon as you stepped into junior B, tier 2, major junior, it changed. And they will expect you to do something or maybe change your role a little bit. And you got to be able to do it. We sat with the young kids that came into Buffalo, the draft picks this year. And there was Jeff Skinner, myself, Danny Gare, Marty Baron, forget who else was there, talking to them. And the biggest thing was being able to change your game the farther you go, because they don't want 18 offensive players. You don't want 18 defense. Everybody is going to be expected to adjust unless you're a superior offensive player, you kind of build and keep pumping it. But those other guys are going to be expected to change the role a little bit. And maybe an offensive guy is going to have to turn into a defensive guy, kill penalties, be responsible third, fourth line. But there's so many guys that aren't willing to do that because in their mind, from agents to coaches in the past to parents, you got to score. You got to score to be effective. You got to score to get noticed. And that's the biggest crock of crap out there. It's people that are educated in the game and they're watching the game. They see the little things the kids do. It's not because they score a goal. They might have done something 30 seconds before that led to the goal. And they're going to look and go, hey, no, that's a player. He's playing a price. He's doing something different to help out everybody else. But they all think they got to score. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing.
Not a lot of kids out there, man. I'd love to win the Selke one day. If I could just win the Selke award, my dreams would be all realized.
Yeah. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad because I think there's so much pressure put on these kids now too by Not so much the coaches, because I think a lot of guys that are coaching understand it, or I hope
not your
do.
coach, but a lot of coaches.
No, our coach
understand,
doesn't. He's a little brain
Yeah.
dead sometimes, but I'm just, it's coming from the parent. It's coming from somewhere else all the time. Look at, he's got a 1970s helmet on and his coat, his whistle. He hasn't used that whistle yet. He hasn't ran one drill yet in now a week and a half that he's been in charge of the team. But it comes, they have so much pressure from outside that it's crazy. That you almost as a coach got to try to relieve that pressure and take that off them and get them to relax to play.
It's funny because on one hand, you commend these kids for being so professional and organized and committed to all these causes. But in the second, it's like, Jesus, this is a night and day from what we saw 20 years ago.
Oh, it is. The day of just going to play. Like, I grew up in a town of 1,200 people. And the ice went in after the fair. So that was the end of September. And it went out probably the 1st of March. Yeah. And you never touched the ice. You either worked on the farm, you played ball in the summer, whatever it may be. That's what you did. You didn't skate. You didn't even dream about it until the fair started the next year. And it's like, oh, we got hockey practice.
Almost time to get on the ice.
Every kid that showed up for the team made the team. You'd have fight who was going to be the goaltender. You know, it was, but that's the way it was. But, you know, I'm not bragging here or anything, but 3 kids out of our town, out of 1,200 population, make it to the NHL.
Wow.
So they weren't in the, you know, the GTA playing the top teams all the time, you know, playing every day all summer. And dad's got, one of our kids went to a place in Indianapolis, a buddy of his, the other day. And he went out there because his dad has a rink built in their backyard. And I mean, this rink is beautiful in their backyard. The whole glass down the side had lounge chairs and a bar and all that kind of thing set up along the side. That's how the parents got to watch practice and everything. They use it for practice. But here's this guy built it for his kid. It's nuts. Yeah. It's nuts.
Built it for his kid, built it for himself to live through his kid for sure.
Kid, so that my dreams can be achieved.
What happens when they turn 18 and they're done and, you know, they're going to do something else?
Yeah. It turned into a show.
It's not like a pool. You can't just fill it in and plant flowers in it.
Yeah, it's on eBay. Anyone want to buy a rink?
eBay. It's a normal size rink you'd see in any small Canadian town. That's what it is.
Couple schmel. You'd said you had a chance to meet some of the young draft picks this year. Did you chat with Zach Benson, their first rounder? It seemed like an absolute shocker that he slid to Buffalo, and I feel like they might be thrilled with that guy getting to them in Nashville.
Love this kid. I spent a few minutes with him. You know, I actually kind of broke the ice with him because my buddy here owns the carnivals in town here. And, you know, and he was all excited that this kid's family, that's what they did. And he calls him the Carney. A Carney finally going to make it to the NHL. He's going to put the Carneys on the map. And it was awesome. But this kid gets it. You know what? He's a young man that's had to work from, I'm not talking hockey. I'm talking off the ice. He's been expected to play a role in a family business since he was a young kid. And he traveled with the family all summer. So all this is into him. This is instilled in him that, you know, you got to work to be successful. And not the biggest kid in the world, but he's got a motor that just he goes and he sees the ice so well. He moves the puck really well. He's got the perfect attitude for a young kid to come in and be successful. You know, you're not talking to him and you're looking at him thinking, oh, this kid's got the pressure of the world on him. All that pressure just seems to melt away on this kid. He just feels so comfortable, so relaxed, and he just goes and plays.
That's a good young core. He's joining down the road too.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you. It's been a lot of turnover, a lot of injection of youth in the last couple of years. It's an exciting team. Who would be a kid goes and wants a new Sabres jersey? Who's the one that all the kids are kind of infatuated with?
Well, Darlene obviously here is huge. Thompson's huge here.
Oh yeah.
Sure. And I would say the next biggest one is Dylan Cousins in this town. People love in this town.
I bet
people appreciate a hardworking guy, you know, meat and potatoes guy, doesn't have to be flashy, but Dylan Cousins plays the same game every night, plays hard, plays physical, great defensive player. There's another kid, offensive kid. He's put in a defensive role here more than anything, you know, killing penalties in that, playing third line, and he's excelled at it. He's still getting 20 goals a year, you know, so they're probably the 3 most popular right now, I'd say, on the group.
And then you're going to add Benson to that group, and Power is only going to
Alex Tuck is another guy, you know, that's huge
this team's
here.
Good, Rob. This team's
he's from
good.
just down the road, Syracuse. So, you know, spent time here. He's a part of the Junior Sabres organization growing up too. So he's got ties to town. So He lives here full time now too. So he's another big name here guy.
Can they make it? Because I think that division I used to think was just too hard for anyone but the 4 teams that get in. But Boston all of a sudden, Krejci, Bergeron out. That doesn't mean they're out, but it means there's more question marks than there would have been otherwise. I think we all think Tampa, Toronto, Florida are still good. But is there room for the Sabres to get in the East?
I think there is. You know what? They would have easily been there last year if they didn't have a couple of 8-game skids. Yeah. If they can prevent those long skids from happening, you're going to lose 2, 3, 4 in a row sometimes. But when it starts going to the 5-6 game, that's when, you're kind of like, this is where it's going to slip away from it. If they can prevent that from happening this year, I don't see why they couldn't make the playoffs. I really, really don't. Yeah, Ottawa's got better. Detroit's going to be better. There's a lot of teams out here that have got better, but there's a handful that, even Pittsburgh, step back, these kind of guys in the East that you're going to always be playing. You've got the youth, you got the experience, you got a little more depth now, solidified our D a little bit, got a little bit more defensive back there, a little more physical back there that we had a big problem with in the last couple of years because the guys were all offensive players. But Clifford and Johnson coming in, Clifton and Johnson, they're going to kind of bring a little meat potatoes back there that they can solidify that D zone a little bit. So yeah, it's they love the coach, they love the whole coaching staff, and they're good to them. So I think just their experience they had last year, not even making it, but being in that hunt and that fight to the bitter end was huge for these guys.
Yeah, if they get saves like any other team, you got a chance. Well, how does that break down?
You know what?
Levi's
goaltending right? could be a question. Luukkonen and Levi are going to be your 2 goaltenders going in, and both young kids. But I think they're looking at it that if these guys could split the games and they can get the most out of both of them and keep them fresh and keep rolling them, night to night, that with the little help of the little more defensive game in front of them, it helps those guys out.
Yeah. A little easier when you don't feel like you're throwing a young guy to the wolves, right?
And that happened for so long here.
Yeah, I think.
And now it's
Omar.
You've got the depth. Yeah. You've got the depth in Rochester now. Like you've got a team. Went to the semis last year in Rochester with all young kids down there. There's only obviously have your veteran players, but a lot of the young kids are the ones that carried that team last year to the conference final. So, they've got depth. So in my eyes, if they have to do something at some point, A, they still have cap room, and B, they've got assets that people want, and they'll be able to get what they need if they have to.
Hey, we got to go. We got to run a practice here.
No, Ray wants you to leave. 15 minutes. That's all he needs.
Yeah, you can leave. You can beat it.
I like this. I don't know what you get paid to do this, but I'm taking your cash.
Yeah, it's not a lot. No, Razor, hey, we'll let you go. Thanks for jumping on. Good to see you again. We were all thinking of you.
No, it's great to see you guys, but you know what? Yeah. Clean yourselves up a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's talking to me.
Yeah. Like, how old are you with the long hair? How old are you?
Well, I've only been collecting bottles in the alley for a year or two here, so I don't know what.
Well, it's not what you look like, okay? You're not trying to sell yourself as what you look like. You're trying to sell yourself as maybe what you know, okay? Look at me.
Yeah, I'm not. I could know what he knows.
Yeah. I'm not much to look at. I got a big head. I'm getting fat. My hair's falling out. But I'm intelligent, and people want to listen to me. That's the draw.
Sabres make the playoffs. I'll shave my head. Let's go. Let's do this.
Sabres make the playoffs. You shave your head?
No, why not? Let's go.
Write it down. Go Sabres. Yeah, love it.
The key's going to be to cut it before then, but yeah.
All right, Razor.
Have a good practice.
Go
Thanks
keep
for coming
that coach in line.
Guys,
appreciate you.
Hope you all have a great day.
Yeah. Here he is.
Yeah, he does. He does hope that for
us.
Oh,
here you go. Here you go. Yeah.
Never boring with Robert.
No.
And that's
funny how he has more time for this show than Warner does.
Yeah, today.
Yeah. He'd just say it.
That's about the amount of time that Rhett's done in August, right?
Yeah, that's about it. Right there. Love that guy.
We were doing a Pinder Report. We can keep that going if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's for Village Honda.
Village Honda. Tani hurt. No, but I think he's still going to hit while he's doing the UCL tear thing. Not going to pitch anymore. Still
sure.
Why? What are we doing here? Like,
you're
dead. And I do believe we have to at least acknowledge now that the Angels are just a curse, a pox, or like a plague. It's not the players' fault. It's the team that gets them. They're a curse.
Who was it that you crushed about saying that they had a decent ballpark in Anaheim?
Oh, I don't remember. Was that here? I mean, it's okay. It's just old and it's not that special. Like if you go to San Francisco, Seattle, San Diego, or like the old ones like Wrigley or Fenway, like the Angels is just a big building.
It's just okay.
And it's got like, it's kind of like Dodger Stadium with less history. And it's not as big and it's in the worst part of LA.
Yeah, it's just in a big
where you want to be.
Yeah.
It's not special.
But you crushed whoever it was.
They were like, oh, no, I went to Angel Stadium. It's a top 5 ballpark. I'm like, in fucking Orange County, maybe. That's it. Dump. Dump's too strong.
I can't believe Razor was chirping about your hair and your look.
I was ready. He could see him loading it up.
Yeah.
You guys need to clean
How
up.
old
And like
are you?
Dean's clean shaven with John. He's not talking about both of us.
That's all right.
Let's go to the CFL. The longest losing streak in the history of pro sports is over. The Elks finally won at home as a team named the Elks, which I still think elk is plural, singular, just elk. The elk. Confusing. A 22-game losing streak aided by a pandemic meant 1,415 days without a win at home. And they're coming to McMahon on Monday.
I was going to say, and all of that, they're kind of right behind the Stamps.
Oh, yeah. The Stamps are having a miserable year. Yeah.
So
that way, that's what's talking about that one. That's October 2019. I'm trying to think of what was happening in the world. It was pre-pandemic.
I just like seeing those sorts of things continue. Those things that make you feel
know,
good. You like having them.
Yeah,
stick.
every day it's just like, yes. Yeah.
Well, hey, Elks.
Start a new
It's
one.
never too late to start a new one.
That's right. Yeah, work on your next
Never
1,400
a better
days
time.
starting on Monday.
Yeah.
Although it was a home losing streak, to be fair. Let's go to baseball. We're jumping around a bit. But did you actually mentioned this? I don't know if this is assault or if this is love or if this is confusion. Ronald Acuna Jr., superstar outfielder for the Atlanta Braves, World Series champion, does everything. He hits, he steals bases, home runs, whatever. What's happening here? Can you walk us through this? Is fan video of him in center field, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, he's always got the yellow on. So there's a fan that comes out to basically he's hugging him. There are 2 security guards trying to get this guy up,
Just
except one guy fell down. The other guy's trying sort of to peel him off of Acuna. A second guy comes out. Another security guard kind of grabs him. Acuna falls down.
No,
What the H
catchers
is
out there.
happening? 2 guys get onto the field and get right up to one of the best players in baseball.
You want to talk about dumb? What is happening in people's minds? Like, once I get onto the field, I'm going to go give him a, like, how is that going to go? You're going to hug a guy? No, you're going to get absolutely mauled by some security guards. You're going to get a criminal record. You're not going to be able to fly.
Like you do this at cavalry games, but that's a little different.
They know me a little, and
you don't do
like,
that.
That's the creep Pinder. That don't worry about this.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, in all seriousness, though, what if?
Yeah, a guy's got a knife or something weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, usually it's this type of thing where you're like, they're going to love it. And it's like, no, they don't know you. You're a stranger. They're not going to love it.
Don't do that. If you want to rip your gear off and run around naked and be stupid.
Yeah, I'm more into that. Yeah.
I guess.
Just leave the players alone.
Leave the players alone.
Yeah. They're not friends now. They're not texting after this.
No, I don't think so.
No, like that didn't accomplish anything.
How just I love you, man.
You're
just so
love you.
You're my favorite player, man. It's just so good.
Speaking of slurring and getting on the field, putting on a show, Sunday, Jack and his crew, me and my crew, Cavalry FC, top of the table clash with Pacific FC, those turds from Vancouver Island. And look at how it finished, fellas. This is how you celebrated W. Smoke goat, big home win, rammed crowd. Look at the crowd here, dude.
Where does one buy a smoke bomb?
I don't know about.
Is there a smoke bombs? Or do they have a kiosk at Atco Field where you can buy your smoke bombs?
So you can see number 12 here in the video if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah,
Der Bomber is what he's got on the jersey. He's
and
the
look
official
at it
smoke
belch.
guy.
Like it's belching.
So no one else has to worry about smoke. This guy is on the case. We got a smoke guy. Remember you had a pickle guy? This guy's the smoke guy. No one else in the whole Foot Soldiers crew has to worry about smoke. That's your boy.
Does everyone appreciate it? Like, I'm just seeing
that
how
is
it
the
kind of
section that does appreciate it. Yeah.
Over an entire section of fans.
I don't know if you've sat at that end of the pitch, but that is basically like the first 3 rows of SeaWorld. You're volunteered for a lot of stuff.
I guess
like,
so.
If you want to be dry, don't sit the first 3 rows. Shamu's going to be jumping. Yeah. Smoke and booze. You'll learn some new words there too.
Yeah.
I saw some kids in there. Their eyes were like dinner plates.
Well done, Tommy.
Here's the table. You want to see
Let's
how
see it.
top of the table Tommy is? He's right there.
Look at that.
Top and bit of a cushion over 4 teams behind them. Only 4 of these 5 teams get into the playoffs, Dino. Stinking Forge misses? That would be unbelievable. They're on the road for 3. So
no rear view mirrors now. Just straight ahead, boys.
Let's go. Take care of business on the road. And
TCB.
Tip of the cap to all involved with their charity golf classic yesterday. The inaugural golf tournament. I had the pleasure of drinking tequila and emceeing, which is an interesting combination. Went better than I thought, to be honest.
So you went to this game with Jack?
Jack went with his crew, and I had my crew, which was it was a different pace and a different sort of orbit we were on.
So he started behind us, a couple rows back for the first half. Second half, he's gone. And we're like, where the hell is he? And then he ended up in that where all those fans are. And there's a player down injured. And you just see Ryan standing up yelling at this guy for a good minute.
I was yelling medic at the top of my lungs. Medic! Because clearly wasn't hurt. He was embellishing. So that's the home field advantage.
You are a great ambassador for our show and our city, frankly. Thank you for all that you do.
It was a little more polished, the speech yesterday at the golf tournament with the owners and the mucky mucks, as you'd call them there.
Well, that's what when I think of you, I think of polish.
That's
for
right.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the shoe polish.
A fine gem you are.
We'll move along. The Rhett's very busy. He's got a new dog, and the shoveler, she likes a good laugh now or then. I don't know if she cares for blinds and window coverings, but she does care for a good laugh. And look at the costume they got their new dog.
Oh, that's nice.
That
dog's wearing a clown costume.
He's holding a knife. Now, the dog knows it's being made fun of at this point, right? That's hence the defensive posture. It does look funny.
Put this shit on you. Yeah.
The little ones are always the worst. Eh?
They are the worst. Yeah. That looks like a fun dog to have.
Yeah.
You really want to snuggle up with that guy.
So Rhett said he was out with the alumni at some point there. I don't think it was it was a different event, but you know how when the alumni get together, what happens? They started hammering barley sandwiches. They're getting they drive my keys, please. Take my car home.
Saying. Yep.
And so Rhett, I guess his new place has an elevator, or he's at Rob's house. I'm not sure, but Rhett was feeling it. And I guess when the elevator's going too slow, you just don't have time to do what you need to do. So
come on.
Now this backfires on Rhett. He's taking a leak in the elevator here. And he's like, well, you may as well play target practice here. Tries to hit some of the lights, but then the thing goes on the fritz because he's peed.
Because he peed on the friggin' numbers. Yeah.
Anyway, tough go here for Retro. And now he's hopping around thinking, I really screwed myself. I don't know how that one ended, but it didn't start well.
Probably going to have to take a shit at some point. Then what do? Smear it? Come on, dude.
It's not good. They did get some family vacationing done. I believe this is just outside of Buffalo. Beautiful national parks. And you love to see those rope swings, don't you?
Yeah.
So just take a real close look right up there on the rock wall. I think that's one of Rhett's Lugans. And there's the rope swing. He's got the rope. And I think the grip looks a little, let's see how this goes. I don't know that he's got his hands in the right spot.
3.
The idea is to land in the water. I don't know if you've seen this before.
Oh, okay.
But you don't want to grab down on the rope. You want to reach up on it so that you swing out, not down. That looked a little painful. Ouch.
How many White Claws
a lot
deep was that guy?
Yeah. Well, and his kids are at the age where they're getting jobs now, right? So usually it's something in a warehouse, a little simpler, figure out maybe how to drive a forklift.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
And they are like Rhett. They're outside the box thinkers. Check this out. So you want to go really high up, but the forklift isn't tall enough. Well, here's
What a world.
Somebody on Earth thought that was a good idea. At least one person. Maybe it's 5, maybe.
So the forklift doesn't reach. Let's get a forklift to
on
lift the forklift.
And
then still forklift. Dump it. Let's take a listen. Go.
Yeah, one more. Oh. I wouldn't try this in a video game. Never mind, real life. What is that? Is that a washing machine?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Fridge?
It's pretty good.
Back to Rhett's dog.
Okay,
the little yappy one. Now the thing about these little ones, the bark may be louder than the bite, but they're absolutely fearless. Or when they're scared, they just go into this thing where they look like they're fearless. Because here's a bear in Rob Ray's yard trying to get over to Rhett's yard. Watch this here. Bear's on the fence. And then that's Rhett trying to get the dog over. And the dog wants a piece of this bear. That's a big bear, Dean. Like this doesn't end well for the dog if that bear wants a piece.
Go on.
Yeah, Rhett's putting on.
Dude's got some shoulders on him.
Rhett's been working out a lot. And look at it. It actually works.
Oh,
I don't know if it's Rhett or the wee pooch, but is that a Yorkie? What do you got?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah,
I'm
pretty impressive.
I'm cheering for the bear.
With Rhett or the dog?
Both. Kill them both. Get them both.
And finally, it might not be an above ground pool, but Rob Ray did get Rhett to install a new slide in his backyard, which is exciting because it's summer.
It's amazing how all these videos
the
are
shovelers
tied to,
Didn't get that video. But this is the new slide. See a lot of plywood.
Looks like good construction there. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone went to the hardware store and said, I can do this myself. I don't need any fancy pants. I'll build it myself.
Yeah.
Which, should work. No problem.
All right. Gonna
You'd
hop
think.
into this thing and
It does look a little narrow at that one spot, though. I don't know how that. Come on, let's go.
that does look like a hard
This is for maiden voyage. Yeah, you got to take your time.
left there.
Oh, no. Oh, Rhett, I'm sorry.
That is very Buffalo.
Yeah, so that's and then again, that's the in-ground. That's Rob's house.
Who could have seen that?
Who could have seen it coming?
That maybe that one turn was going to be a little tight.
A little tight there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's your Pinder Report, Dean. I'm glad Rhett. Keep those videos coming, folks. I know everyone's taking videos of Rhett.
Only the most hard-hitting sports content with the Pinder Report.
That's right. Yep.
Brought to you by Village Honda. New in-stock inventory, more landing daily. You want used vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets, 70 on-site access to more than 400 more in their dealer group. It only makes sense. Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall and online at villagehonda.com. Oh. Has he been sending us stuff? What is he sending? Or is that for, is that maybe not for public consumption there?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, all right.
Let me leave that alone.
I do like getting the other side.
Yeah.
Because when we talked to Rhett earlier, is these parents that he's of the kids that he's coaching, these parents, and then Razor comes on, it's like, yeah, we won, and he was just firing out F-bombs left, right.
Yeah, there was a hint of that a few years ago with the Trev Too Many Men. Like that wasn't even his own kid. He was that invested, and you're like, he's got some Daryl and Mike Keenan in him, I think.
There is. Yeah. When you win, and we can't rest on our laurels.
No. 8-0, I don't care. I had 2 turnovers with 5 left in the third. You little.
Well, I'm sure they'll be ready for practice. They'll be giving it their all for their beloved
He's
coach.
Head coach. I think that is news that broke today, too.
I didn't know that.
I feel like he's a career assistant everywhere, and that would be great. But to raise point, a good leader delegates, and it sounds like Ellis is doing all the skates, the plans.
Yeah, because he talked about how it was Coletta.
Yeah.
It was Coletta's team and Coletta this and that. Head coach.
Right, head coach.
Well, if he ever comes back on the show, we'll have to talk to him about it.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess, in the coming days and weeks. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Outdoor Dental, outdoor.dental. Another, you talk about, it's not funny, right? If you got sleep apnea, it's not funny. It's not a laughing matter.
You think it's funny for your wife, when she has to listen to you snore all bloody night?
It's not funny.
Is that funny?
Because when you're snoring, and especially with Outdoor Dental, because it's the laser that they've got, the Soleil laser, and of course it's used for your dental work. No needles, it's the way to do it. Yeah. Outdoor.dental is the website. But they also use the laser to help aid and correct your sleep apnea in the back, a soft palate in the back of your throat. The laser goes in, 2 15-minute treatments, tightens the palate. Basically, the airway is open.
Yeah.
This is this one here. This is Rhett, I guess. The epitome of what sleep apnea is, or why you need it corrected. Watch it kind of build towards a crescendo near the end here, because it's blocked.
He's trying to breathe. I don't know if anything's happening.
There it is. Oh. See, now he's off to the races.
Oh dear. That looks
And
horrible.
then it kind of shuts back down.
It's
again.
like starting a
But
lawnmower there.
Yeah, that's how it goes. It's like your brain is like, yeah, no oxygen here. Hey,
Dummy.
hey, stupid. If you could,
The air.
it's been it's like a few seconds now for sure.
Air!
Could you get so? Like that's what it's basically. That's what's happening right there. Don't live that way. You don't have to. 2 15-minute treatments, outdoor dental, and of course, while you're doing that, talk to them about getting all your dental work and everything done at Outdoor Dental. But for sure, the snoring treatments, 2 15-minute treatments, like we said. Outdoor.dental is the website. Dr. Jay Patel is the best in the business, and might surprise you. Like I was saying earlier, there's no harm in getting a little bit more information and talking to them directly, because it might shock you. They know a little bit more about it than I do. They're a little bit more well-versed in the specifics.
You could just lose a word or two in that sentence.
Of the apnea treatment.
More than you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outdoor Dental. Outdoor.dental.com.
They know more than Dean.
Your life better.
I'm committed to doing this, by the way. I've been talking with the Wolverine. Dr. Jay's got
Oh,
time
I'm
for
coming.
me.
Yeah, I'm coming with just to watch.
Oh, dear.
Are you kidding? You're going to go in there and open that trap, and it's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it. I want to work the laser.
Yeah, okay, I take it back. I'm not doing this.
Well, I got a steady hand.
Dr. J, I need you assurances here.
Unless I've been drinking.
There were stipulations I was not aware of.
All right, Pinder, open wide. Fucker. Oh, lost his voice entirely, you say.
Tragedy.
You can hear everybody. Yay. Are people cheering?
What? Guys, clinic.
Not a laughing matter. Outdoor.dental is the website. But you see that. And yeah, like I had a buddy. That was the thing. You'd watch him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not breathing.
That's not
and
good.
then the body just starts to take over.
Yeah.
And then that happens.
Then you wake up, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that at all.
Sleep in that.
Now, we are slowly but surely getting back to our regular scheduled programming.
I believe post Labor Day we'll be pretty much functioning as we did last year for the entirety of the season, and then we kind of dialed it back for July, August.
Is that this weekend coming up?
Yeah.
So like next week?
Long weekend this weekend.
Like if we should probably... So
it's a 4-day week. We're easing ourselves in. Monday's a holiday. Take Monday, Dean.
Why don't we... One more week of threes. Then...
Whatever works for you, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
You know me, I'm flexible.
But tomorrow, and again, not to toot our own horns, but I think there's been some great interviews, some great content over the last couple of months. Some sit-down interviews that we wouldn't ordinarily have for you that I think is just going to become, whether it's to take the place of this daily show every once in a while, I think probably over a Christmas break or a New Year's break, that's the way to do things.
Yeah.
Another one coming up tomorrow.
Dave King, former Calgary Flames head coach, and of course, prior to that, a institution with the national program, a guy that's coached internationally in 6 different countries. He was actually on the Pyeongchang coaching staff in 2018 when Canada won bronze. And that is on his resume. The last thing he's done, he's now 75, but King was always known as one of those great hockey minds, and a great chat from him from his summer cabin, reminiscing over the Flames days. And then also some other quirky stories. He was the first North American to coach in Russia. He had a young Evgeny Malkin over on his team there, and actually had a second stint coaching in Russia.
I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, and it's not trying to be disrespectful in any way, or that time has passed. But Dave King was regarded as a legendary, and still is, but a legend, like you say, a legendary mind, legendary coach. Just the best top percentile at what he does.
A hockey mind, to be sure. Yeah, and he wrote a book that he talks a little bit about as well. Second book, his first one was King of Russia, phenomenal page turner
with Eric Dehacek, correct?
That's correct, with Duha.
Yeah.
So he talked last week with me. We will play it for you tomorrow.
There you go,
Coach King.
Well, I look forward to it.
His son's now coaching Moose Jaw. I don't know if you know that.
Is that right?
It's in the blood. Those coaches, hard workers.
Yeah. Do you think he swears at his players after a
Not
big
as
win?
much as Rhett, I don't think. Yeah. Although it is a higher level and there's more pressure. So
it's too bad you've already done the interview. Now, the spoiler alert, is a pre-recorded interview. But if you could ask Dave King, the strategy of coming up with a big win, your final win of a weekend or of a tournament, to then absolutely lambaste your players about it.
Just a storm of F-bombs.
Yeah. Where they're expecting some
Good work, Jimmy.
Yeah. We really responded, ended on a high note, except Coach is F-bombing us. Curious
They got to
King.
learn. They're too soft.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Is that in the Dave King handbook?
I didn't see that in the book. I got halfway through now.
Probably not.
No.
One more thing, and then we'll call it a day.
That way.
No. Well, I want to tell you about St. Eugene.
No, please.
St. Eugene Golf Course. Cranbrook.
Baby.
Cranbrook, baby, is exactly what I was going to say. Championship Golf Course. The hotel, restaurants, spa, casino, all just most beautiful, some of the most beautiful places in the world.
It's right
What
there.
else do you want?
Got a golf course. You got
What?
hot pools. You got a river. You got mountains. You got clean air.
What do you want?
It's everything we have for you.
What do you want? steugene.ca is the website. We've been telling you about St. Eugene. I know it's been a busy summer out there, for sure.
Oh, yeah, dude. But the beauty is their fall lasts longer than our fall.
Does.
There'll be snow flying and snow drifts in your lawn here, and there'll still be golfing out there.
And you said it's kind of Labor Day. Hey, how about a little
Guys, get
fall golf? Hey, you know what? We didn't. Maybe it's never too late. Think about it. Maybe even for guys like us.
Yeah. Maybe a little fantasy football draft / golf tournament.
Jeez, there's not a lot going on in September. Maybe a guy should wheel down there. St. Eugene Golf Resort and Casino. You don't need to do this, but I find it helps.
Did you hear that on the mic or no?
Yeah, I find it helps. Mountains surrounding you in all directions. It's time to discover or rediscover the St. Eugene Golf Resort and Casino. Once again, steugene.ca is the website.
Now we Betway.
Now we Betway. We Betway with Betway. Bet the responsible way with Betway. Get the Betway app on your phone and play along. Betway.
Bet the responsible way.
Bet the responsible way.
Check out my new hat.
Oh, it's what is it?
Oh, Betway.
Oh, it's Betway hat.
Betway.
It's a good time to bring it up. Very good time to bring it up. Betway bets. I'm going with one.
Okay.
When you need wins.
Oh boy.
I know that's not been the best. It's a little bit of a skid, but bounce back yesterday. Jays beat the Nationals.
We've been good lately.
I say they do it again.
They have Jose Barrios on the bump. They are 2.5 games out. The stinking Mets and Red Sox both collapsed with leads against teams the Jays are chasing. No help at all. None. No help. We'll see if they can make their own help tonight.
It's crunch time.
It's big time crunch time.
This is crunch time
and
for the
Bichette's
Jays.
Out again. Chapman's left.
Yeah,
but that means our boy Schneid's not the manager, to do with the mustache. Let these young kids play. Let's go.
Yeah, they don't like the manager so much.
Let Schneider get a little more heat. I'm sticking with that game as well. I got a couple bets here. Barrios, 6 or more strikeouts, pays plus 130. He's done that in 3 of his last 5 starts. So I like plus 130 there. And Vladdy, he's gone home run, didn't get a home run, didn't get a home run. Tonight, it's a pattern, Dean. Home run. Plus 400. 2 in his last 4 games. He's turning a corner. They need him in a big way. It has been a pedestrian season for Vlad, kind of like Bo Bichette's last year until a scorching red-hot September, one of the best months in Blue Jay history that he's carried into this season. Vladdy, you want to do that? This team gets in. Let's go!
There you go. That's
Pep
the
talk.
Rationale you need.
Pep talk right there.
That's pretty
If you're
good.
listening, Vladimir.
Plus, what was that? Plus 400?
Yeah, plus 400 for a ding-dong.
Hey.
Look, he's been in a trough at times this year, but it's starting to see some competitive at-bats, which is, yeah.
What is your
People been
level of confidence with the Blue Jays?
Oh.
That says it all.
It feels coin toss territory, and that's not I don't like the injury setup. They will get Chad Green back. The rosters expand on the first here, so a couple days. But this is not where they're supposed to be. They are better than this. And the Seattle Mariners have erased a 10-game lead in the AL West in a month. They all of a sudden, they just aren't going to lose again, ever. It's crunch time. You said it.
Was the noise you made when I asked.
Yeah, I mean, look, they are one of the best pitching teams in baseball, if not the. They cannot seem to get production with runners on. It's weird to see this team that piled up runs for the last 2-3 years that just struggles mightily to bring runners around.
Those are our Betway bets. Bet along with us if you so choose. Get the Betway app on your phone. Bet the responsible way with our buddies over at Betway. And before we go, thanks to everybody who's been following along, watching on the YouTube. We got the YouTube chat open there. Pinder ran into you at the cavalry tournament yesterday. What's the most egregious cheated scramble score you've ever seen?
It wasn't yesterday. Yesterday, the tournament winning score was 18 under, which, if you know golf, that's 18 holes, 18 under.
18 holes, yeah.
That's a really tidy score. I have seen the minus 20 range, but the tees are up, and if you actually get 4 scratch golfers, you're going to do some things. They had a long drive guy in one of the holes, just smashing them out there like 380.
Now you were golfing?
5. Yep.
Is there any reason why this person, he, she, would be asking you?
Well, we didn't win and we didn't get a prize, but there was a lot of eye rolls from people who were like minus 18. Like we were minus 3. But
was there a celebrity as part of this group? Is there anybody we can throw under the bus before we wrap it up?
For part of that cheaters or us?
From the cheaters.
No.
Any cheaters you want to?
The cheaters will remain anonymous. And I didn't think it was that, but they looked like golfers. That was the problem. You walked up, you're like, oh, look at the gear. Yeah. These guys are golf nerds. They're here to win the tournament, and they did.
You know who's always, it's like, and I don't do it, but you go to these, hey, congrats to Eric Francis and his team who have gone 96 under par today.
Yeah, Francis. Johnny Winwick, too. His teams always win. Yeah. He says he's a good GM. He always builds the teams. Right, he's like, no, we got this guy here. He can get hot putting. This guy's great off the tee. But it's like, Johnny, scrambles are supposed to be really KO. You win every time.
Can you imagine Francis? His garage is probably like a golf town. Oh, yeah. Golf bags and shoes and clubs and shit everywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't use tees. Hits it off tee box. Bit of a show off.
Oh, yeah, sure. No one likes a show off, Eric. Clean it up.
Use the goddamn tee. You're making me feel like an idiot.
Buddies, good to have you along. Subscribe to the YouTube. Download Apple and Spotify's and Google's and do all that. We're getting back into it. We promise you. We're getting into September. Hockey season's coming around, and so too are we. We appreciate you. Keep watching, keep listening, support the show, support the sponsors.
Yes. And you know what? Support the sponsors, obviously, because it's like, that's delicious. I don't want to snore anymore. This is the place I'm going to buy a truck. But another way you help is the subscribe, the 5-star, the like. It'll take less than a second to click that button, but it does help us on this end. So we appreciate you doing that for us.
Have a great day, buddies.
Dave King tomorrow.
See ya.